So we have another juicy little CC ender right there. Wow, nice surfaces. I'm not seeing anything too terrible. And maybe a hit or two on the wing. And then the other side. All right, again, a little bit of abrasions, something going on to the left of the wing there. But yep, another Carson City dollar. All right, so let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and see what we're looking at. So, just like the last time, I am going to unwrap and unroll these into a stack. All right, you know what? I think we're just going to do it this way. Look at this. Okay, that will work. All right, let's not knock these over. All right, we are setting coin number one off to the side, just like we did with the last roll. Now we're going to go ahead and examine each one of the coins in between until we get back down to number 20. All right, so that's an 1896. That is a filly. That has got some remarkable luster, but a bunch of abrasions, not a very good strike. And all right, I'm not thrilled with that one right off the bat. Next one up. Another 1886 filly. I can see a bunch of marks already on this one. So yeah, that one is taken right out of contention for high grade. Next one up. Let's see if they get any better. Another 1896. Okay. Another filly. All right. Decent. Nothing spectacular. Looks like the fields are a little bit cleaner than the last one. I mean, that's okay, but a little underwhelming. I'm kind of hoping for something getting a little bit better here before we go on. All right, another 1896. My goodness. And another filly. All right, just like the last roll. We're going to have a bunch of common stuff in the middle, I'm afraid. But the real question is, what do those enders look like? All right, yeah, that one's nothing special. All right, well, we're a quarter of the way through. That was coin number 5. Comment, let me know what you think of this roll so far, and if you watched the last roll, what do you think? Did I do well, or did I get taken to the cleaners on these? I paid $2,000 a piece for these rolls. Another 1896. And another reasonable coin. All right, I can't say I'm too upset with that. And reverse, actually looking a little better. Okay. All right, maybe coin number 6 is beginning to turn the tide. What do you think? All right, what have we got here? This. Another 1896. Another filly. All right, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that one. I can see marks already. All right, moving on. Who's up next? Yeah, another 1896. Of course it is. Of course. All right, decent. Nothing special. Yeah, meh. Next up. About halfway through 1896. And another Philly. Let me know in the comments, gang. Was this roll a mistake? Or are the CC enders going to pull it out for me? Because right now, it's not looking too good for Mr. Adam. Next one up. Another 1896 Philly. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, again, not a great strike. Reasonable surface condition, nothing spectacular. This roll is leaving me a little bit underwhelmed right now. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, okay. And of course, sure, why not? That one's probably an AU slider right there. I don't know. That one isn't even worth looking at closer right now. Okay, yeah, another 1896. Lovely. Okay. Is this one any better at least? No, not really. No. No. All right, well, this is why I do this, gang, so that you don't have to take this hit. All right. Subscribe to the channel, though. Help me out. Help me finance some of these purchases so I can keep doing this for you all. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. But this roll so far is really nothing special. Again, hopefully the 87 or the CC enders are going to pull this out for me. But right now, I can't say I'm excited. All right, that's a decent looking 1887 with a few abrasions. Not a terrible looking coin. At least it's not another 1896. All right. Let me know in the comments. Is that your favorite coin so far or what? All right. What do we got? We got 5 coins left until we get to the last little beauty. All right. That's back to the 96s, of course. Okay. Another Philly. That one's kind of banged up, so we don't need to spend a lot of time on her. Next up, well, at least it's not a 96. Another 84.0. And she's got some hits on her. They don't look too bad. And for New Orleans, that's not a bad obverse strike. Well, would you look at that? All right, that actually requires that we go under the scope. Decent strike, a little bit of scuffing, a little bit of abrasions, few marks in the fields. Very nice luster. And then the reverse, again, for New Orleans, that's a very nice strike. And I believe you've got a die crack. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So let's go even further under the scope and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, around the edges like this, it is not uncommon that you see dies crack from the pressure being exerted on them. And there you go, right there. You can see it. And it carries on, I believe, out here. Yep. And there you go. Well, that's what a die crack looks like, everybody. Okay. Again, not my favorite coin in the bunch. Let me know in the comments what you think, but at least the die crack was kind of cool, right? Another 1884, and that's another O. And that is a typical New Orleans strike. Decent luster, nothing spectacular, fair amount of noise in the fields. Again, a decent reverse strike for New Orleans. Not the money maker I'm hoping for. What about now? Coin number 18, another 84, another 84-0. And that one's about the same as the last one. That one's got some nice color on it, at least. A little rim head up at the top. Not the worst, not the best I've ever seen. Whoop, helps if I'm showing it to you. All right, you got a little rim head up there at the top. And this is what your obverse is looking like. You got some hits on there I'm not thrilled with. All right, coin number 18, not my favorite. Coin number 19, can we turn it around right here? Can we turn it around? Nope. Oh boy. Okay, well, here's what we got here. We got a nice gash on the cheek, some noise out in front, another New Orleans, a little bit of color again, kind of nice, some nice luster. But all right, gang, the 18 coins in the middle are not terribly exciting, but let us go back and examine coin number 1 in much greater detail, shall we? Now, look at the fields and the reflection on this coin. That is ridiculous. Now, the fields do have some hits. Not going to try to minimize that. We'll look at them a little closer in a minute, but wow, I'm loving that reflectivity. All right, let's get this little girl under the scope, shall we? And yes, you can see a few hits, but man, you can even see polish marks. Look at that. Look at that reflectivity. That is crazy. And I think we have a little bit of a mint mark anomaly because the second C is actually sitting a little bit below the one on the left. Interesting. All right, we'll have to check that out for VAM potential in the next video as I get ready to submit these for grading. But we'll talk about all that in that video. All right, couple of hits overall. Can't say I'm devastated by that coin so far. The real test, what is the date? Now, in prior roll reveals, I've pulled out an 1878. I have an 1883 and an 1884 CC. Let's see what we can add to the family. Another 84 CC. All right, interesting. That is not a bad strike at all. All right, we do have some bag marks and a little chatter, but wow, I can't say I'm upset at that. All right, we've got to get her under the scope for sure. Okay, I mean, yes, we do have some chatter and some bag marks. He's got a couple of hits on the neck and the cheek. You know, it's not a mint state 66, that's for sure. But I'd say overall, that's not a bad looking CC. I mean, we got a little rim head up at the top there. But for Carson City coinage, I'd say that's not ridiculous. Not at all. Now, what's interesting is if we take this little beauty over here, I mean, that's pretty good distance reflectivity right there. And on the obverse, all right, not as strong. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Comment. Let me know what you think of that 84cc. All right. This is the other CC. This is coin number 20. And she does not look half bad. At least on this camera, I'm kind of liking what I see. Not a lot of noise, not a lot of chatter, a decent strike, nice frost. This might well be another proof-like. Look at this. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, that might even be a dimple. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, beautiful mint mark. Just a little bit of chatter and noise out there on the right, and a couple of small hits on the left. Very minor above the eagle. Look at that strike. Look at that frost. Oh, my. Oh, my. All right, well, let's see what we have got. So I've got an 1878, an 1883, and two 1884s. What will this one be? Another 84. Wow. Okay. And, ooh, all right. You know what? All right. I don't know what that is above the first 8, but I gotta say, I'm not terribly upset with this coin at all. I mean, I've seen coins that are pretty beat up before, and this is not that coin. Goodness. All right, well, let's go back under the scope, shall we? Look at this. Oh, my. The reflective surfaces are redonkulous. Whatever those little things are there by the 8 and the 4, they're just surface dirt, it looks like. It doesn't break the surface of the coin. Look at that hairline detail. Relatively little chatter in the fields. I am surprised. All right, let's get really up close here. Come on. You can do it. Come on, Alecliv. Don't let me down now. There you go. Wow. Okay. Now, I don't know what that is, but it doesn't break the surface of the coin. And is that another little die crack down there, maybe? Yeah, I think we got another die crack happening. Some nice color beginning to tone. Look at that. And those fields are just so reflective. That's just stupid. All right, so here's what we're looking at down here. Not too shabby. All right, well, I'll tell you what, everybody. That is CC roll number 2. They are going to get the same official treatment that all of the other roll reveal coins get. They will be put into a slip just like this immediately after this video. They will get the sticker applied. These coins will be CC2. These coins came out of the first roll. That's how I'm identifying them. All of these coins, with the exception of the CCs that are going to go for grading, all 18 out of this roll and all 18 out of that roll are going to be up for sale on my Whatnot auction tomorrow night, Saturday, December 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Search me up on Educational Numismatist on Whatnot. Bookmark my show. You're going to want to see these. I'm going to take each and every one of them up close, much more personal. We're going to use both of my microscopes. We're going to examine very closely surface detail in much more painstaking detail than I did for this video because I didn't want to make it an hour and a half long. But I appreciate you all watching, and if you enjoy roll reveals like this and you want to follow the journey and see how these CC coins grade, well, you're going to have to subscribe and follow the channel because I don't think you really want to miss that. So thank you for watching, everybody. I will catch you the next time around, and be well until then.